Hey guys, I just wanted to run through a scenario that we find ourselves quite often in with clients. And this is the scenario where they've gone and they've purchased before we have sold their home. So I'm going to run through a quick illustration of kind of how this works out and have a look at some of the numbers. So the scenario is they've gone out, they found their dream home, and their asking price is $700,000. They've gone into negotiations and they managed to get the home for $685,000. They come with a clause of having to sell their own home before they're going to be able to complete on this purchase. So they've asked, the sellers have asked for a 72-hour clause, which is quite common, meaning that if they receive a better offer during this time period, one with less conditions or a better price that's more favorable to them, they're able to release us from the contract with 72 hours to decide whether or not we're going to remove our subjects on that. So the pressure's on at this point. Now, through the magic of whatever, we were able to understand that the clients, these sellers actually had spoken to their realtor, and their bottom line was $665. If they got an all-cash offer with very favorable terms, they were able to entertain something much lower. But because my clients came with strings attached, they required that they have a higher price. So now we turn around and we have to sell their house. Their house is listed for $550,000, and if they got their full asking price, they were going to be able to walk with $150,000 in equity. Well, the first offer came in, and the first offer came in at $545. Awesome. However, those buyers needed to have a subject to sale clause, which we would never be able to turn around until their the clients on the purchase side that we have a subject to sale offer. It's just too many dominoes that have to come into play for the things to line up. So that was a no-go. We go back out, we do another open house, we end up getting an offer and settling at $520. So then it becomes an inspection, and now we're excited. We want to get this home sold. The inspection comes in, and there's $5,000 in remediation that these buyers want to see have happen. So we cut the deal with them, and we lower the price to $515, and now their equity ends up being $515,000. So let's run through the scenarios here at the end of the day. A, where they've gone ahead and they've purchased before they've sold. They ended up paying a higher asking price. They ended up being able to transfer over less of a down payment, so their down payment puts them at 16.79% of the purchase price, which falls under 20%, which leaves them subject to mortgage insurance. That ends up being just around $16,000. So their total cost of borrowing is $586,000. In scenario B, where they would have sold their home first, they would have been able to purchase the home, let's say around $665,000. Their down payment would remain fairly intact at $145,000. They would have a 21.1% down payment, which they can forego mortgage insurance, and their total borrowing cost would be $520,000. So the difference here is $66,000. Between the two scenarios, and that works out to $312 a month in mortgage payment for them. So just a quick rundown on those two scenarios for you guys.